What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, back here to bring you guys another video today. And I just gotta say, before we start, you guys know what we did this week. I gotta apologize because we killed the markets this week. We killed the markets. Throughout the week, they tried to knock out the people who were taking calls. At the end of the week, they tried to knock out the people that were taking puts. It didn't matter. We rose to the challenge. I took 3 trades this week. Just 3 trades. Went 3 for 3. 100% to start October. Huge shout out to Showing Off yesterday. Killing AMD. Almost 1600% returns on AMD. Crazy. So let's dive into the recap of what we traded this week. Let's look at, what we're looking going into next week. And just talk about the world of trading that we know it as it is today. It was too good this week. It was too good. Look. So, as you can see yesterday, the S&P went mad. And just so you guys kind of understand the context, right? Basically, so NFP was yesterday. So the, non-farm payroll. And basically, in regards to jobs, we saw the news come out at 8:30, so 1 hour before market opened. Well, we saw the market start selling off, reacting to the news. And we thought, oh no, this is not looking good. I was in AMD calls swinging overnight from Thursday to Friday. I thought, this is not looking great. 9:30 came around, market opened. Stock started to rally a bit. Then they sold off. In fact, let me pull up the S&P 500 chart. Then stock sold off again. There you go, that's a little sell-off. Pushed up, little sell-off. And then before you know it, within a 2-hour period, zoom, we went off to the moon. That's what I like to see. That's what, makes me happy. When you see a clear direction and it just goes and goes and goes. So, SPY. Let's start with SPY. And look, US economy remains stronger than Wall Street thinks. China economy, you saw Alibaba getting this little boost, 3% returns. Yeah. So, anyway, you know what? I'm going to go straight to TradingView. I want to show you guys this. So happy with how yesterday went. So happy with how this week went. To start October, 3 wins. I can't complain. So yeah, SPY. Let's start with SPY. SPY hit that 420 level, bounced, and took off. It was that simple. I can't tell you more. Now we're at 429. The key level to watch this week, upcoming week, is 433. See that 431 then 433. So yeah, SPY hit that 420 level on Tuesday and then took off. So this week I took 3 trades. Roblox puts. What was the second one? Square puts and then AMD calls. All of those were swings. All of them overnight holds. All of them did the business. So we'll start with Roblox. Monday. Got my $28.50 puts. Monday, as you can see, sold off all the way down to lows the following day of $28 and around 10 cents. Great returns. That's the hourly chart. Square, I'm not going to dive too much into them. If you really want to see these kind of things, come check out the Discord. You guys know that's where I'm at. That's where all the trades are at. Square, same story. Look at the puts. Woo! Glorious puts. All the way down to 41. Square was a great trade as well. Anyway, finish off with the last trade of the week, because one thing I want to highlight the last trade of the week is those first 2 trades I did October 6th expiry, which was yesterday. The last trade I did expiry for next week, Friday the 13th. Now, I took $103 puts, okay? You see, it likes to bounce on my level here. Whew, we broke past that level of resistance and just went crazy. Anyway, check the hourly chart. So Thursday I got in my trade. Thursday I wanted to get in my trade after we start pushing above the 200 MA. I didn't. I waited till the end of the day when we sat above all 3 moving averages. We were clearly bullish. So I got the $103 calls when we were about 20 cents before they were in the money. I'd set my expiry for next week, so we'll reach $103 by next week. If I'd set my expiry for yesterday, Lord knows what kind of returns I would have got. Anyway, set my expiry for next week, came away with a crazy 4K day and only 20-something% returns on AMD. But when you see a stock do this on a Friday, if the expiry was tomorrow, it would have been nuts. Even though the expiry is next week, it still was nuts. Over 100% returns is great as well. But look at that. Come out the gates, steaming. Almost a $5 gain day on AMD. And the thing is, it looks like we're not done. $110 levels next. So speaking of we're not done, let's talk about the stocks I'm looking at going into next week. I'm going to start off with Tesla. Tesla seems to be that volatile stock right now which can make you crazy money. Wednesday, crazy gains on the calls. Friday, crazy gains on the calls. Monday through until Wednesday, great gains on the puts. But what am I looking at for Tesla? In all honesty, I'm trying to see if we can get that push. Continue push up to 271. Back to those highs where we were, mid-September. And I think that this stock is definitely one to watch going into next week. I'm not going to say too much about expectations to the downside because right now it looks like it's pushing up. We break that kind of resistance level 262, expect us to fly 272 very quickly. So a $12 gain for Tesla is what I'm looking at going into next week. Make sure you watch that. Let's head over to the energy sector. ExxonMobil. It's been on a... When the stock market is rallying, Exxon doesn't do that well. When the stock market is kind of a little bit, consolidating and not really making the moves that we want to see, you see Exxon really rise. This week, Exxon sold off. That's fine. I'll take that. I'm watching to see how much further it sells off before we see the bounce and the recovery. That 105 level for Exxon is key to me. We will see what happens at that 105 level. If it sells up below that, pull up the 4-hour chart. There could be further downside. But here, I just analyze that zone from August where we bounced. That zone. 3 times we bounced in that zone and took off. I'm watching to see if that happens next week as well. That 106 level is key. So keep your eyes on that. Now, I've got to talk about SPY. I told you earlier that 433 level is the one to watch for next week. I do think that bounce on 420, no pun intended, saw us start pushing for highs. I do think that we've got more room to run. But that 433 level on a daily chart, you'll see it on a daily chart. A 433 level, just where we pulled back to in August, just above where the 21-day moving average is right now. That's the key level. If we push up to 433 and get rejected, it's obviously puts time. If we push up to that level and break it, you could be looking at some nice SPY gains to the upside if you're in calls next week. Just depends on price action. See the RSI here pointing upwards. We've seen a bullish crossover. I like that. We broke below the 200 moving average this week, but didn't hold below. Okay, let's see what happens going into next week. Let's look at tech. QQQ. It's just finished and closed above the 9-day and 21-day moving average yesterday. That level just where we, before the gap down previously is where we're currently at, 365 basically. If we do push high, expect us to reach the low levels of July, the, let's say, kind of support where we bottom out in July, around 375. So that's an $11 push for QQQ. Don't be fooled, that's not a lot. We did $6 push yesterday. We can even easily do $11 over a 5-day period. Now let's touch on PayPal. I like talking about PayPal, one of the most undervalued stocks out there right now. Long-term PayPal, you're going to see. PayPal's going to do the work. It's going to give you those returns you want to see, especially when it comes to your long-term portfolio. We're hovering around support right now. It looks like we're consolidated underneath the 9-day moving average, hovering around support. I do want to see what PayPal does. If it breaks down, I could be getting puts. If it does find support and start uptrending, it's the call time. Look, we did it last time, back in August. Calls would have took you from $57 all the way to highs of $64, which is a nice push for PayPal. That's an easy 12% return on the stock, which is going to bring you crazy gains if you're in at the right time, of course. But a stock I am looking at when it comes to puts, Palantir. You're probably wondering why puts to Palantir. Because we pushed up, we've been trending nicely above the moving average, but we pushed up, and I think we're due a little bit of a pullback. We hit highs, earlier, last week. We hit these highs were at $16 and then we pulled back. We could get rejected right now and pull back before we push higher. It's slightly overextended, very slightly overextended. Obviously, it can also just rip upwards. It's not about what I say. It's going to do what it does. It's going to do what it wants to do. But it's just what I want to watch for puts. Let's see how it pans out and then take it from there. Now, I did mention the Chinese sector earlier. Let's talk about the Chinese sector. Alibaba. So, Alibaba has been on a downtrend, has been very bearish lately. But it's seen some recovery with the beginning of October. A great day yesterday, 3% gain. Sees it close above the moving average, the 9-day moving average. Let's see if we can push for that $87 level. And then if we break above that, we could be looking at the 90s very quickly. So Alibaba's on watch as well. And then if we're going to talk about retail, Walmart and Target, I'm going to pull those up as well. I like those for long-term investments. Walmart right now is very bearish, so I'm looking at the puts on Walmart. Below two of the three moving averages I have on my chart. And also, nasty long wick there yesterday. Nasty long wick. I don't know what that was about. Pull up the 4-hour chart. I don't know what that nasty wick was about. Oof. That's gruesome. I don't know what that's about, but I'm looking at more bearish movement for Walmart, so just keep that on your radar. And Target, similar story. Bearish momentum. 4-hour chart is very bearish. Daily chart is bearish. 1-hour chart is bearish. 30-minute chart is bearish. You guys know the deal. Looking at puts to Target. What level? I'd say, for me, that right now looks like it's in free fall, right? Free fall, yep. As I mentioned in last week's video, we had that falling wedge and we broke to the downside. When you have those kind of falling wedges, you expect a huge breakout to the upside or downside. Here it happened to the downside, and since then it's been bearish, ever so bearish. So yeah, those are the main stocks I'm gonna give you guys, to watch for next week. Again, huge shout out to Shonoff for killing it with AMD with those over 1500% returns. That's just what happens when you trade those 0DTs and the market does trade in your favor. Huge shout out to Oscar as well for killing it with Tesla. Shout out to Bob SPX as well for killing it in the Discord, and J Money as well. Also, guys, remember that win this market, manage your risk. Trade what you can trade what you know how to trade. Don't be the person who's going to lose all your money because you're trying to chase those crazy 1500% returns. No need. The trade I took was low risk, high reward, and it brought me back high rewards. And going into next week, AMD is already on the up, so you can see even higher rewards. Slow and steady wins the race, but a lot of traders in this day and age don't want to be slow and steady. They want quick gains, crazy gains. You're not always going to see that, especially starting out as a beginner. So anyway, come check out the Royal Trading Academy for more gems, tips, insights, all the kind of stuff we do. Live trading as well, the breakdowns, the call-outs, all of that stuff is in the Discord, the Royal Trading Academy, links in the description below. Also check out the stock option starter pack. That is 10 videos you'll have access to for life. Those are videos I created so you understand the ins and outs on options, terminology, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you check that one out. And lastly, check out the socials at The Wealth Prince. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It's all the same at The Wealth Prince. Go and check me out on there. I provide different tips, tricks into investing, business, hustling, side hustles, all that kind of stuff. Go check it out. And if you're new around here, drop a thumbs up, show some support, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. And if you just like these videos, comment, share, do all the good stuff, show support. It costs absolutely nothing. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. That's it from me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you're there for that. I got one to making, you got one to making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.
Game over.